Hey, everybody. I'm super excited to share with you a special guest that I have joining me today. This is Ronaldo Linares. Hi.
Hi, what's up? How are you? How you doing, Jennifer? Thank you for having me here. Very happy and always love conversating.
Oh, I feel the same. I do too. I'm so stoked to have you here today and to just share this conversation with everybody. So, I would love to have you share with us how you got into the work that you're doing today and what that looks like in terms of how you're serving others.
Well, I'm here. Well, just everybody know I'm just Ronaldo Linares. I am a former, I would say, a retired chef in a way, and I have moved my life into a new business focusing on health and wellness and leadership. So what that covers is working with brands, pharmaceutical brands, healthcare companies, and also food brands that are focused in making our lives better. And I'm somewhat the community conduit. So like el conductor, the driver into messaging from pharma companies, communicating, especially with the Latino market organically, and being that voice for them to be able to get into the inner city, in the inner parts, and where they're having the most difficulty with in communicating. So I'm somewhat that individual that does that for them. And one of the things that I've been focusing on is speaking a lot on health and wellness. Number one, going into health summits, health fairs. I'm actually got two coming up on the 12th, April 12th, talking about health and nutrition in the Latino community at the statewide Chamber of Commerce Health Fair in New Jersey. And the following week, I'll be in PA for the Latino Summit. I'm showcasing 2 days, the April 17th and 18th. I'm doing a workshop called Take Your Time Back, No More Cooking. So it focuses on the busy day to day using time blocking, but meal blocking. So we could cook on a Sunday. So we talk about all the tips and tricks and things you could do to make your life super easy and enjoy literally like 20 different meals in 1 week by prepping for 4 to 5 hours on a Sunday. So it's fun, it's different, but the focus is always ancestral flavors. No matter where you're from, I think you should be able to eat your food, but in a way that is nutritious and that is going to benefit your mind, your body, and spirits.
And so, those events that you talk about, are those local events? Are you doing anything online or is there going to
So
be
we
anything? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Jump in there. I thought you were finished with the question. So there are local tri-state. They're tri-state events. So tri-state, for those that you don't know, it's New Jersey, New York, and PA. But I am, one of the things I do the events. I go out and do travel. Once I book up this speaking gigs and speaking engagements, whatever you want to call them, I do go out and travel to those and share my life, my expertise, and share my stories, not only in health and wellness and how I see things as a Latino in today's world and with diabetes and all obesity and so many health issues going on in America. Also on the leadership aspect and coming and bringing my leadership expertise into corporate companies, somewhat as an advisor and everything like that. So I do both tri-state and out of state. And online, we are creating our program for online. So we are in the process of that and creating somewhat of a workshop or like a 4 or 5 week class where we could funnel it and bring this to more and more people.
That sounds fabulous. I mean, I know the work that you're doing is so needed, and I know that for me personally, planning, meals is key to success in terms of optimizing our nutrition and uh, eating healthy, but to your point, like you said, also in a way that we can enjoy our food is huge. And our physical health, our nutrition health, it just impacts, so many areas, every area essentially of our lives.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for us, it's looking like for me, I like to look at three things, right? Food, exercise, recover. I think you have to have those three elements in your life at all times in order to be able to work at capacity, like at 100% capacity, because it could be done, because you need to have a balance. So if your food is really good, but your exercise and recovery is lacking, and when I say recovery, guys, I'm talking about stretching, sleeping properly, taking mindful moments, praying. Those are recovery tactics you could use. When I speak on exercise, I speak on actually going out and exercising, right? The what we know, the cardio, there's CrossFit, there's MMA, there's cross training, there's an endless amount of exercise. But the exercise we don't think about is the exercise that doesn't take any actual physical work, the no excuse exercise, where exercising our minds, right? By reading more, getting more knowledge, doing what we're doing right now, um, blacking out our rooms, buying out blackout shades, putting out those blackout glasses 30 minutes before we go to sleep, reflecting on the day. Those things are exercising your mind to be more mindful, to be more grateful. And you're going to be able to, and that also kind of plays in recovery. So those are like three things that I like to focus on because those three, that triangle, it's always moving, right? It's always moving top to the bottom to the right, and it's just constantly moving. If you have that flow, oh man, it is good.
You're in the zone.
Always in the zone, baby.
I love it. So, what inspired you to do what you're doing today? How did you get there?
Just, I think trials and tribulations. I mean, I think one of my being grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded to me here in this amazing country. Not only the opportunities, I felt so grateful that I serve my country. I am a U.S. Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Right? I'm a veteran business owner, certified, and I felt I needed to serve my country, protect our shores because what it has given me. I came to that realization when I was a young boy. I had this experience. I want to share this with you. I want to share this with your audience because I believe moments in life shape us. It shapes our decisions on who we are as an adult. When I was 5 years old, and this is a little intense, but there's a reason why I'm telling you this story. When I was 5 years old, my day, right, it started typically. We got up, we had breakfast with the family, we went out. It was a weekend, and I usually will go outside and see what I could do. That day, our gardener was there doing our lawn maintenance, doing the landscape and everything, and I was out there helping. And I remember pushing those old lawnmowers. You remember those lawnmowers that had the blades in the front? And you
Oh,
had to push it. You were the motor. There was no gas. You were the motor. So you were pushing this lawnmower, manual lawnmower, and just cutting the grass and picking up the grass clippings. But here's the difference. I was in Medellin, Colombia, during the heights of the cartel wars, of the Pablo Escobar wars. And I remember that day. I will never forget this day. We were picking up the grass clippings, and about, I would say, 100 yards, 80 to 100 yards down the road, I heard a gunshot. I looked up, and there was this guy running up the road holding his leg. At the same time, there was another lady walking up the road. She kind of froze. She heard the gunshot. She froze, looked around. She had a bag on each hand, cloth bags with eggs, milk, bread, sugar, flour, items for the week to go feed her family. A few minutes later, another guy came out on his bike, raced into the up the street, and I'm looking at this, right? He stops as if this was a movie, right? Like you were watching a chase scene. He stops on his bike, he had a black helmet on. He stops, takes out his gun, and shoots the lady 5 times right in the head. Just shoots her dead. She drops to the floor. He turns like nothing happened and chases up the road where the other guy went. So he was coming up to me. He made a right and then a left to go up another hill. A few minutes later, you hear a couple more gunshots. That guy's dead. So being surrounded by that, and this is not the first time I had witnessed something like that. There, I ran towards this. I ran and I stood over the body, and I was seeing that blood coming out still, right? And I'm like 5, 6 years old. I don't remember the exact age, but I do remember looking. I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't feel any. I was like, wow, this is crazy. But that was life. And I was always raised to be grateful for what I had. In Colombia, we had a lot of money. We were we were wealthy. My father was a great entrepreneur, businessman, but that did not matter because that war was going all around us. But the one thing that was happening was my family, my parents were teaching me, be grateful for what you have. Not the materialistic, for the life you have, for the air you breathe, for waking up, for walking the ground. Be grateful for that. So I've always taken that, I kept it locked away, and I've used that throughout my life, and through my growth in life. And I'm teaching that to others, obviously. I have used, I have adapted that thought, right, into the Marine mindset, into the way I look at life, into leadership. And that has helped me become the leader I am today, the businessman I am today, and the father and husband I am today. Taking that tragic moment, I turned it into something very positive for myself. And to see what we are grateful for and not what we have. I think it's something that a lot of people should do.
Absolutely. I believe that every experience that we have in our lives shapes who we are, just as you were saying. And when it comes to gratitude, for the gift of life, I mean, it really, truly is a gift. To anyone who's listening, if you're here breathing the air today, you woke up this morning, you have a purpose.
Yes.
There is a reason for you to be here, and there's nothing that happens at random, right?
No, nothing happens at random. You create what happens in your life. What you're putting out to the world, what you're working on, what you're saying out loud, what you're grateful for. Asking the universe or God. In my sense, I ask God, right? I'm like, God, let me be in your favor today. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. Help me with this. And he will help you. I believe it so, and he has helped me to this day in being able to connect with the right people, with yourself, right? Having these conversations in business. And the best gift, honestly, has been being a father and a husband. But as a father, I'm learning a different kind of leadership. Like, I'm learning things every single day and truly embracing mindfulness. Because that's what the one thing that my kids are teaching me every day, being more mindful, appreciating the red leaf that fell during fall, and looking at it and being excited about it, and not saying, no, son, come on, let's go, we're late. No, you stop, you squat down, and you look at that red leaf, and you take a look at the little lines, the little intricate art. You look at it and you get excited for 20 seconds with your kid, and then that's it. You move forward until the next moment. It teaches you so much because it puts you in a state of mindfulness. So when an opportunity shows up for you during the real world of business, you're able to capitalize. See, that's the thing, right? That moment, looking at that red leaf that fell and fall. And I'm telling you, because this is something that happened to me. It puts you in a moment of mindfulness to appreciate and see moments coming, not that just passed, that are coming. So you could be prepared for it. So when they appear at your doorstep, you could open the door, let it in, close the door so it doesn't get out, and execute.
As you speak of mindfulness, right, that is so important what you're saying, because our power, to make a difference in our lives, to enjoy the journey that is life, is in the present moment. And especially in today's environment, right, with all the technology and the fast-paced life that surrounds us, especially here in the US, it's easy for us to spend too much time worrying about our future. And it's not to say that planning isn't effective, but the worry and doubt about how the future is going to turn out, rather than us spending time worrying about that, being focused on where we're at in this present moment right now, and then owning our future, creating that,
Yeah.
because it exists only in potential, and our power to create it and to create the life we want is in this present moment right now.
Yeah. No. 100. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Worrying about a future that you're not certain about, I think it's not a great way to spend your time. Being in the moment, being mindful, and understanding opportunities now is what sets up your future. It's good to have your goals, right? Your 13-week goals. Right now we just set up our 13-week goals, and we know where we want to be. So now that that's out there, right? The 13-week goals out there. I spoke it out loud. It's traveling right now to heaven. God's about to get it, and I am setting up those 13 weeks. What I need to do to execute on that goal. So that's my future. It's there, but I can't worry about my objective, right? My objective is set. My procedure, it's set up. So I need to execute on each one of those procedure. Check, 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 to get to the objective.
Take inspired action.
Yes, I like that. Nice.
That's
Write
what I
that
like
one
to
down,
call it.
guys. I'm writing that one down. Inspired action. I love it.
Yeah, we say our prayer to God, and then we receive that inspired action.
Yes, definitely. Yes, that's a great way to put it, because it is an inspired action. I'll tell you a quick story about praying. Me and my son in the morning, we tend to pray in the car. The reason we pray in the car, because the morning goes so quick. I know in the car, before I put it in reverse, we pray, and then we head on our day. Or sometimes while driving. So my son, I have a TV in the car, and he likes to watch his movies in the morning. So usually I press pause, and we drive and pray. So the other morning, it's like, Daddy, what's up, man? He said, can we pray in the driveway? I'm like, this right away. I'm like, I know him. He has the same one of the same strength I have. Strategic. He's very strategic, right? So I'm like, okay, and I already knew why. So I'm like, all right, sounds good. Let's pray. So we prayed. We did our prayer, and I'm like, let me ask you a question, Liam. He's like, yes, Dad. I'm like, you wanted to pray in the driveway so you wouldn't miss your movie, right? He starts laughing. He's like, yeah, I did, because Daddy, he goes, our prayers are so long, I miss half the movie while we're going to school. So he's like, all right, let me play. He's planning out. He was planning this out in a couple of days. So he set his objective, and he's like, all right, let me sweet talk my dad into it, and we could pray in the driveway. So I could still get the action of prayer down, but then I could still watch my movie, right? So it's funny how we are always, in trying to plan things out. And I'm sure he didn't think it that way, but I would like to think he did.
Yeah.
He is my son. He has my same crazy mind. So yeah, he did. So it's being inspired in action. So I think God helped him with that messaging. It's like, listen, kid, I'm gonna help you watch your movie, but you're gonna have to pray though, right? That's the exchange. So he's like, all right. So inspired action was, let's pray in the driveway, and in return, I get to watch a movie. Amazing,
Exactly.
right?
Process of co-creation. That's what it
Yes,
is.
yes. Oh my God, I can't wait to watch this back. Process of crockery. I love it. You are good. You are so good.
Oh, thanks. I'm humbled. um, so, for someone out there, right, who's in a place in their life where they're feeling called to do more, they know that there's more to life than what they've experienced so far. What is the number one tip that you would have for them in terms of moving forward to make those changes?
I mean, I just did that actually. So I could definitely tell you how I'm feeling right now. I spent 20 plus years in the restaurant business, behind the kitchen, behind the line, in front of the house, and dealing with everything you could think of every single day. And I made the decision to move away from that. I had a bigger calling with my family. I saw my kids, my wife, that I wasn't spending time with them, and they were just growing up, and I was staying behind, and I was like, I need to take action. There's more for me. I have been doing. I have been working in media. I have been working with companies, partnering up with ARP, BMW, Health First, American Diabetes Association. Quick plug: my book, Chef Ronaldo Sabores de Cuba, published by the American Diabetes Association. So I did all this during this time. I'm like, man, I'm really good at this. I am gonna go ahead and open my company, like straight LLC, my name, right, my business, Ronaldo Linares, and go all out. And I just did it, right? And I think there's no great. I don't think I'm gonna give you this very obvious. Just do it. Have to do it. Put your business in plan and start positioning yourself to take that leap, right? So if you're in a job right now where you're not really happy, and there's more to it, or you could do that job so much better, start working at it after work. Start putting in the time, start putting in the work. Set yourself up so you could quit what you're doing now and go all in into what you want to do. It's hard. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh my God, what? I thought I'll be further along, right? Because we set these expectations really high. But why not enjoy those wins? Appreciate those small wins. They might not be as big as you wanted it, but they're still wins. So don't have that negative talk, right? Be positive within your inner talk that, all right, I'm here now, but I'm gonna be that much further later on, because all those moments, all those opportunities are past performances that are gonna enable for you to get that big score.
So many nuggets of wisdom in what you just said. I mean,
So
really,
many.
so many comparison, and let me know if I missed one, but comparison is a trap, right? Because
Yeah.
each one of us is on our own journey. And it's amazing
Yes.
when you think about it, because out of the billions of us on the planet, there's only one you, right?
There's
So
only one. Oh
comparing
my
yourself to someone else, it's just like comparing apples to oranges, or night to day, or the moon to the sun, or whatever. It's just not, you
It's
know
crazy.
yeah, it's just not the same. And then what you're saying about celebrating ourselves, that's so important, celebrating our accomplishments, because
Yes.
most of us have the tendency to spend more time and energy focused on what we don't have, right, versus what we do have. And to me, celebrating those accomplishments for yourself, that is just another form of gratitude. And when you're in that space, you just attract more of the same.
Yeah,
and
definitely. A
and then
process of elimination. The
yep.
bad goes and a good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what you said about just do it,
Yeah.
it's true. We The only thing in the way of us and the dreams on our heart and achieving those is ourselves. Yeah, it's our own doubts and our own fears. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's
Definitely.
a lot of
Definitely.
mindset.
Like you have to, you have to be a knuckle dragger, right? That's a military term for you're just a grunt. You're just like, I'm gonna drag my knuckles in the ground. I'm gonna get it done, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm not afraid of failure. Failure's afraid of me, straight up. Like I am relentless in my attack. I am relentless in my achievement, and I know this is what goes on in my head, right? I know I am going to get this. I'm not worried about my left or my right, because there's only one Ronaldo Linares and one unique fingerprint, and that fingerprint belongs to me. There's other people that do similar things, but they don't have my messaging. They don't have my minds. So that is a way you have to look at it, right? You have to go into it that way, and a lot of that self-doubt and that talk that, oh, this is really hard, starts going away. You know, being accountable for yourself is huge in this process of being an entrepreneur. It is hard, and it's never gonna get easier. It's just gonna, the not the challenges that come as you grow, they just get a little harder. But that's what you want. You don't
Absolutely.
want it to be good. There's this quote. I think I don't know, by Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. I think, I don't know, guys, but the quote, it's really good. He goes, "You want to go from good to greater, right?" I think that's like going back to the earlier question when you said those people that want to jump into their own thing, right? They're in a good position, but it's really hard, really hard to look within, look yourself in the mirror and be like, I want to leave this good opportunity to go into something greater. And that in between, that leap, right? That leap is scary. It's really scary because you're going to trip, you're gonna fall, you're gonna come into failures, but then all you gotta do is like get up and like dust it off and walk around it, and to go into greater. Here's an advice for people. We tend to stop when there's that mountain. Like we come on the road, everything's going good. We're skipping, we're smelling the flowers, everything's nice. But then you look up as you're skipping, you're in this good mood. You're like, oh my God, that mountain, it's so big. Sometimes it's not your mountain to climb. All you have to do is be like, instead of going through all that climbing for no reason, that's your opportunity. There's other opportunities. Just look to your right or left because there's a sidewalk. You can walk around that mountain to continue on your journey, right?
Absolutely. That's so important. And as you're saying this, what comes to mind for me is surrender. Again, it's our need to push and force and control that makes our path more difficult for us. And when we surrender to the flow of life, right? When we move forward to achieve our desires, yet stay in a place of trust that everything is going to unfold for our highest good, that is when those sidewalks appear that you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. It's yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that comes with like the mindfulness, the whole everything we've been talking about, kind of perfectly led to that point. That's awesome.
Synchronicity. Nothing happens at
Synchronicity, man.
random. Nothing.
You should come up with like Jennifer. You should do a post on LinkedIn of this, all these words that you are dropping. I mean, all these gems that you're dropping for the audience. I think those are amazing, amazing, powerful words that you can't forget, right? That are great to use in your everyday life, you know,
That's
and to be aware of those things.
great idea.
Yeah.
I'm just loving our conversation. I just love talking to you.
Hey man, when there's synergy, there is synergy.
For sure. So for those who want to find you, where can they find you?
They could find me here on LinkedIn, right? Find me on LinkedIn. Just type in Ronaldo Linares, and I would love to connect with you. If you're in the health and wellness or in the leadership space, seeking leaders, seeking to bring in someone that is truly committed to the betterment of the community, to be the conduit, to truly connect to your audience, whether you're in the health industry, in the pharma industry, or just period in schools or wherever you feel I fit in, let's connect, and just follow me on there too. I like to provide a lot of value. I like to bring a different perspective of how I look at my life and how I think others should hopefully get those nuggets out of it and improve their life. Could definitely go on there. On Instagram, it's all across the board, is Ronaldo Linares. So you could find me anywhere. And I like to have, as you could see, these amazing conversations and just moving forward. Let's do this and help out. Help a brother out, man.
I love it. I've loved our conversation so much, and you're so inspiring, really. I mean, and thank you, really, for wanting to do the work that you do. It's inspiring and helping so many people, and even just taking the time to have this conversation today. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, 100%. And thank you for having me and thinking that my words are that and thinking that my words are that valuable for me to share them on your platform. I appreciate you.
Thank you.